Hello, welcome again to my channel, people. Well, today I'm going to keep it really simple. What am I talking about today? Just generally, let's talk about relationships. Relationships are one of those things in life that many of us find sometimes elusive and sometimes a bit complicated. But I often say life is actually simple. It's we people, humans, that make it complicated. Of course, I know and understand that not everyone in life is going to be very lucky with relationships. At the same time, there are people out there. I've had girlfriends, I've listened to youngsters, and some people that seem to have their own list so high up and at times oblivious of the fact that they are being unrealistic. I'm not talking about lowering your standards here. Let's just keep it simple for the moment. Whether you're a man or a woman, we all love to have good, sound relationships, whether they're friendship with housemates, roommates, whatever. But today, I'm just going to focus more on the kind of relationship that is a little bit more intimate. You're wondering, how do I know I gel with someone, to court someone, whether it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and hopefully ultimately get married if you're the married type. I'm not saying everybody has to be married. And so I tend to think of it this way. I have a saying. When it comes, first of all, to relationships, it starts with you. Yes, you, the man or the woman. First of all, ask yourself exactly what you're looking for. And often, I think a lot of people make the mistake. I'm not saying looks don't matter, but sometimes, especially, I hate to say it, well, it's not just young people, let's be honest. Some people become a little bit too materialistic or looking for that shiny trophy or the man with the six-pack or whatever it is. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with six-pack, but what I'm saying here is with relationships, the first thing that comes to mind, as far as I'm concerned, is substance. Look inside yourself. What are your own behavioral patterns? What do you like? And I have always walked through life with this simple, I won't call it a formula. I often say, if you meet someone and they have 70 to 80% of what you're looking for, then, you're onto a winner. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there, they sit down, they write all this lonely, he or she's got to have this, they got to, and what they tend to forget, if you're one of those people, what you tend to forget is once you're busy making that long list of your perfect man or perfect woman, how do you know if you are the perfect person that person is willing to try a relationship with, is willing to tolerate? Because some people are quite intolerant of, they see someone, they just judge the book by its cover, and most times you end up missing the right person. And I've always been old school, if you like to call it old school. To me, it's part of the etiquette of getting into good relationships is don't rush it. Today, we live in a jet age where a lot of people will become so accustomed to social media, to a lot of things happening just when we click our fingers. And what I say is, when you meet someone, take time and get to know them. Especially for us women, we tend to be more emotional than men. Please, ladies, regain your own dignity, your own personal self-respect. Don't just jump into bed with someone you just met. Some people might claim it works for them. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, when you want a deep, strong, rooted relationship, it starts with a friendship. Yes, you've got to have a friendship in that. And yes, of course, we all need to have that little flutter of butterflies in our tummy You love to feel a buzz when you meet that person or see that someone. But having said that, I also want to caution you. No one system works for everyone. There are situations where people meet someone and it takes time to cultivate that friendship or getting to know them, and eventually it meanders into you and that person having a wonderful relationship. Again, it comes back to do not rush it, because often, I've listened to a lot of people, I've given advice to a lot of people. I'm not a relationship expert by all means. I'm just talking from my own personal opinion and life experiences. And often, I may be wrong, the same person that's been complaining of, getting in and out of relationship, making the same mistake. Oh, I rush things. I really need a guy to settle down. I really need a girl to settle down. They go back making the same mistake. But if you give yourself a little bit of time, whether you're the man or the woman, especially women, I say, yeah, not because I'm a woman, but we are wired differently. Most men can do, or quite happy to, let's be plain, sleep around or whatever it may be. The way men think sometimes is not the way we women think. I come from that generation, and I like to think there's still a lot of young women out there who are able to have and exercise self-control. Self-control is part of your own personal dignity. I've always believed it doesn't matter really whether you're African, Asian, British, American. I am a strong believer. If you look at human nature, what we often tend to want is something that is not within an easy reach to us. Does that make sense? And so what I mean by this is, especially for us women, if you take your time to get to know someone and things don't work out, you still have your self-dignity. But in so doing, you are saying to that person, this is me. This is my standard. And I often say that it's easier when you meet someone to start laying down that foundation of who you are, what you're willing to tolerate. And if that man truly loves you, however much he wants to jump in bed or, not everybody does that, because some people come from a place of faith. Maybe their religion doesn't allow it. Some people come from cultural aspect. But all I'm saying is, in general, you will tend to build a stronger bond, because if that man truly loves you, or that woman, because there are women who also, I won't call it crazy, we live in a funny world today. They think if they throw themselves loosely at every and any man, everything is just about capturing him and in bed and all that. That's all important at the right time, the right situation. It's all about timing. But the substance of you as a man or woman should not just be limited to being in bed with someone. Get some time or take some time to cultivate, have discussions, relax, enjoy, because sometimes you meet someone, they may look like you're perfect, everything you've taken, she's beautiful, he's handsome, whatever that might be. But then when time goes on, you might tend to find out that you two may not even share the same sort of hobbies. You may be the type of person who loves academic things. You like discussions of academic type, politics, and all that. And that other person is actually bored and not even interested. She might just be interested in just, glossy kind of fashion, gossip, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has someone out there for them. You might be the type who loves to travel. They might be the type who don't really like traveling. You might be the type, if you're like me, you love good food. That doesn't just mean any food. You love going out to good quality restaurants. and sampling delicious quality nouvelle cuisine here and there, and they might just be like, yeah, it means nothing to them. So it sounds petty, it sounds little, but trust me, most of the things that break people up often in relationships are those smallest things we tend to neglect. And sometimes we, man or woman, see red flags or things we know we don't like. And for some reason, most people do this, especially we women, rather than see the red flag. I always say, feel free, fall in love. But when you fall in love, don't lose your head, don't lose your thinking. Because sometimes, yes, you love this person, but you probably know this person is lazy. You know this person is not the standard of man or woman you really know or think you should have. And what do? You're panicking. You begin to lower your standards. Oh well, I could get with him. Oh, if you marry, I could change him. I could change her. No, that is wrong. And that has been one of the biggest mistakes that's costing a lot of couples to break up everywhere and anytime. No one is perfect. I've always thought of relationships like a package, a bit like marriage, really. You never know what you're going to get. It's like a gift until you open the gift. And when you open the gift, you begin to, whatever the gift is, you begin to look at it, you begin to get used to it and understanding what your gift is all about. So I'm not saying it's easy either. I'm not saying, though, sometimes I think that we human beings make it harder. And I understand it can be a little bit difficult for a lot of people these days to find the right person. And what I'm saying here is, if you are that person, you've been in and out of relationships, or you're looking to settle down, or you're just, by nature, as human beings, we like to have company. Ask yourself, what am I doing now that is stopping me from meeting more or potentially the right kind of person you would like to be in a relationship with? You cannot be in your bedroom, straight from work, bedroom, and all that. Join clubs, join activity clubs, go to functions if you can, and leave your perspective open. When you meet someone, providing they're not crazy, providing they're not, what's normal, what's abnormal, just give that person a little chance to get to know them. And when you get to know someone, often it's love. Yes, we've heard of some people who, quite truly, some people have been narrowly, or shall I say, occasionally lucky with the going that says love at first sight. Personally, I have my own different view, because I'm a great believer in getting to know someone. And when you're having a nice discussion, read into meaning and find a nice way. I don't mean interviewing someone you're just meeting. Find a nice way to introduce ideas and points of what you may like to know about that person. Get to know them a bit deeper before you become too emotionally attached. And take it one step at a time. And don't look for someone you think you're going to mold. That's wrong too. If that person is not for you, keep it moving. Above all, most times people start getting, especially women, they're worrying, oh, my biological clock, and I'm not saying we're not God. We don't know. But I'd rather you stay single and happy than trying to rush into a relationship because you just feel like I can't be on my own. Oh, I've got to do this now. I've got my age, my that. And that is, again, one of the biggest things that end up throwing people off course into the wrong hands. We all love to have a good, decent relationship. But we also love to know that when we're in a relationship, we can learn to, or we can actually not learn, we can be ourselves. So, are you in a relationship? If you're in a relationship and you don't feel like you're yourself, that's not a good place to be. Why do you think that is? If you're that kind of person and you'd like us to discuss something relating to that, drop me a line and contact me by email with a little description of your personal experience. And obviously, we're not going to disclose your name or anything, but we could shed a bit of light and see if we can actually come up with what is making your relationship not a happy one for you, or not a suitable one. Or indeed, I hope you are in a happy relationship, which is what everybody desires. Can you drop in a line? Tell us about your wonderful, happy relationship and why you think you and your partner, whoever that may be, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, wife, why do you think you have managed to keep it happy? Because I mean, myself and including the subscribers watching could learn a thing or two. Or even worse, are you that person, you've been with someone, you know deep down they're not for you really, but you're too scared to leave that relationship? A lot of people fall into this trap. And to be quite honest, I personally find it sad. I say sad, but we've all been in love, we've all been young, and I know for one, sometimes walking out of a relationship, is not right for you. It's one of the hardest things. And that's why I said, feel free to fall in love, but do not forget your head. Sometimes you have to make decisions. Love comes in different forms. And there's this saying I've always used ever since I was young. And when I talk to friends or young people who ask me, what do I think, that kind of thing. Especially when you're young, it's easy to play around, mess around, and all that kind of thing, and feel like the world owes you everything. But if you're that person at a certain stage in your life and you're looking to settle down, I always say this: the boyfriend material is not always a husband material. And this is, again, one big reason why some women end up in horrific sort of, or rather unhappy marriages. I've heard it all before. Oh, when we were going out, it was this, it was that. But if you actually took a step back, one day you want to be a mom, a wife, or whatever. Is that person's behavior potentially, you think, going to be able to transcend into a man who's willing and able to take responsibility, compromise for you, you compromise for him, and all the rest of the things that build up a long-lasting relationship? And if you're a man, it's all very well. You may have been one of those, you live your life freely, you love to go out at night when you want to do. And I baffle when I see some men, or different people are here or watch, things, and you think you're going to carry your bachelor's behavior into a marriage. Oh, if she likes me, she has to suck it up. No. Every relationship, whether it's just a boyfriend, girlfriend, a marriage relationship, is a two-way traffic. And again, it's not every girlfriend material that can be a wife material. It doesn't mean you marry someone you don't love. Of course, love needs to be there. But like I say again, it takes many factors. I'll break it down in another video. It takes at least 3 or 4 major factors to say, oh, this is my marriage material. Love, you've heard some people say love is not just enough. It's not that you marry somebody you don't love. Of course you have to love somebody, but sometimes people, especially when people are young, all you're looking at, the person might be behaving crazy, but all you're looking at is, oh, I'm in love with this person. But then, hey, real life as you get older requires stability. Especially if you, as someone, you want to have a successful career, you want to have children one day, you want to have a family. Even if you don't want to have children, some people marry and choose not to have children. That is completely and beautifully accepted. You're not going to be in a relationship with someone, every time they step out, your heart is in your mouth, or, that's not relationship. And so if you're one of those people, still stop because you're scared of breaking up from that person, or because you feel emotionally obligated, or you're staying in out of pity. Pity can never hold a relationship. Trust me. Even if you go doggedly and marry that person eventually, if you're looking at marriage, or whatever it is, I don't know. I'm not saying every relationship is about marriage. What I'm talking about is you will end up resenting even that person. Because the reasons for you going along and all the time you're in that relationship where you know it's not right for you, it's not fair. Because it's not fair on that person. Look at it that way. You think you're doing the right thing. It's not fair. Be honest, be bold in a gentle and loving way. Sit down and discuss and let someone understand and know, or maybe this may not work out for you and I. And yes, it will hurt for a little while, but you are going to be saving that person and releasing them, whether they're the man or the woman, to be able to go out there and meet their real life partner. So you don't end up with someone else's partner or wife or husband or whatever, and you yourself, you're costing them time. You're wasting your own time, because all the time you're tied to that person, you're not able to let yourself be free, really free, to meet potentially the person you believe or think is more of the person meant for you. Anyway, with that being said, I wanted to keep this simple. I will make another video in more details, and we're going to take some of these topics and dissect them further. All I'm saying is, what kind of relationship are you looking for? What kind of relationship have you been in? And what kind of relationship are you in right now? So, with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, so when I upload new videos, you'll be amongst the first to get to hear about my video. And share this video with your friends and family. Hit the like button, please. It's free. It's free to subscribe. It's free to like, to support my channel. And look below this video. There will be a link for you if you want to get in touch and share your own experiences, and hopefully any useful resources you find in links I'm leaving below this video. Thank you again for watching. My name is IJ, and this is my channel, IJ Speaks, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.